Hello, Mr. McCarthy, and welcome. Today we'll be asking a few questions about your time in war. These questions consist of what was your involvement and what depression was like for you. Mr. McCarthy, tell us about your childhood. What was it like? I was born in York, Western Australia, and brought up in Clontarf Orphanage in Perth. Being orphaned at a young age, I was listed no next of kin on the attestation papers when I joined the Australian Imperial Force in October 1914. After I completed my schooling from the age of 13, I worked on a farm as an apprentice at Genacubin, near Northam. Later I served with the 18th Light Horse, a Matillion unit, for 2.5 years before moving to Lion Mill at Perth. I subsequently worked as a contractor and a sawmiller, losing 3 fingers on my left hand in an incident. Then I decided to go to war. So what was your reaction to being sent to war, and what was your first thoughts? At first I was quite scared, but I was proud to support my country in need. I was the leader of the 16th Battalion and led them to Anzac Cove, which I felt was a big responsibility and had a lot of pressure on my back. That was really my first reaction to getting picked for war. What was your involvement in World War I? I was posted onto the 16th Battalion where I was nicknamed Fats. I was later promoted to Sergeant when I returned to duty and I was one of the last to leave out of my battalion on the 20th of December. On June 1916, my battalion were in France and we took part in fighting the Posiers and the Moquet. After that, I was promoted to Company Sergeant Major. The following month, I was promoted to Lieutenant. A day after I received my commission, I was wounded at Bullecourt and evacuated to England, where I spent 3 months in hospital. 2 weeks later, I was leading the 16th Battalion once again. On our left, we were held up by German machine guns. I and another sergeant attacked the machine gun post, capturing 460 metres of German trench and forcing them to surrender, and it was between 40 and 50 Germans. Mr. McCarthy, tell us your personal views on the battle. Personally, the battles were absolutely insane. Explosions everywhere. It haunted every soldier thinking that they could be next. The battle forced me into depression. So did for many soldiers. It haunted us for the rest of our lives. There was a lot of heroic moments. I know I had mine, but to see everyone else out there fighting for their country is truly inspirational. Is there any personal stories at all you would like to share with us? Yes, there is. 2 years after I returned from war, my only son died in war. He was shot down in action in Bougainville in 1920, which after that I was demobilised because of my depression. I further worked as a sunshine harvester until they laid me off, and many ex-war veterans, because of depression, which for me was the loss of my son. Why did you go to war? Well, I solely went to war to support my family in crisis, and also just to support my country in need. I believe that I made the right choice in doing so, and now at my age I look back and I can say I'm proud of myself and the time I spent in the war, and I can also say that I'm proud of everyone else that was in the grounds at the time, and they put their life on the line and really paid off for what we achieved. Do you feel like you made a significant difference in the battle that you were in? Well, I honestly think that when Sergeant and I ran towards the German machine guns to help the other battalion out was really heroic for both of us. It definitely made a significant difference. Making 40 to 50 Germans surrender was a milestone, which helped out far more than what we would have thought. I also think that leading my battalion several times was significant on a personal level for myself. Do you support war, or do you think that it's wrong in every way? Well, I've never supported war, and I always thought there was another way, but after losing my son to war, that gave me a different perspective of the loss that comes with war and suffering. For example, I suffered after he died, and depression took over my life, which ended me getting laid off of 2 jobs, which wasn't good for my confidence either. Going through depression, what was that like for you? Depression was mentally tough, losing jobs, and watching my life suffer, really. Put me in a dark place, which really wasn't easy to get out of. A lot of soldiers went through this as well, and it was called the Depression Age, where we suffered from the outskirts of war. Losing your son in war, do you think that led to your depression? Or do you think that just everything that happened in war, how close you were to death, was the cause of it? I think that I was on the verge of depression mostly war, going through that age. But personally, I think the loss of my son really pushed me over, which had an impact on my life. Like losing my job, and over having the people around me suffer from my actions and from everything that's happened in my life.